Okay, random Q&A here. I just finished a home workout, just finished a few minutes ago. I have a protein shake. When protein shake is gone, I am out. But until then, let's see who joins. Usually takes a few minutes for some people to get on here. And I love my green shirt, by the way. Welcome, ladies. If you're just tuning in, here's what we're going to do. It's just a random Q&A. So if you have any questions, if you have anything that I can help you with, by all means ask. I'm going to drink my post-workout protein shake. And when my post-workout protein shake is done, I'm going to call it. So I got some people on here now. So say hi, tell me where you live, tell me where you're from, ask me some questions, preferably about strength training if possible, because that's what I love more than anything else. So feel free to ask me some questions, okay? I just finished a workout, lockdown workout, so I'm going to have a protein shake now, and when the protein shake is gone, I'm out. So I figure probably like 10 or 15 minutes. So feel free to say hi and ask me some questions if you have them, okay? Hi, Julie. How are you holding up? How are things going? Still in lockdown? Still same shit going on? Fuck, this is a crazy world we live in, hey? Say hi, ladies. There's like 30 plus watching now, 32. Hello from Perth, Australia. I wish I was in Perth, Australia right now. It's like complete snowstorm, like freezing cold outside here, and I wish I was somewhere warm. So Perth, Australia is going to be on the hit list of places to visit and do workshops once COVID fucks off. Let's see what else is going on here. So if you are watching, feel free. Hi, Andrea. Feel free to ask me some questions. Yeah, lockdown, Julie. Fuck, I can't imagine. We only got hit with it now, and I can't imagine what it's like for you guys. Squat racks are always good, Heather. It's not a real gym unless it has a squat rack. That's for sure. I need some glasses. Chinese. Yeah, it's freezing here as well. UK weather and Newfoundland weather is probably pretty similar, right? Hello, Northern California. Smith machine. Okay, so let's talk for a second. Hello, Ontario. Smith machine and a squat rack are similar but different, okay? Smith machine has some benefits, okay? But if possible, you should always try to learn how to use a barbell. Make friends with the barbell. It's a great tool. Smith machine is very limiting. Smith machine is easier to use, but not as effective as learning how to use a barbell, okay? I'm so glad, Keely, that gyms are open in Wyoming. That is fantastic. Let me tell you, enjoy it. If you have the ability to go to a gym or whatever, enjoy it. I think this has put a lot of things into perspective for a lot of people and made us appreciate what we had or what we have that much more. Alberta, partial lockdown, minus 39. Fuck. I've been to Alberta a couple of times. Like, there's cold, and then there's, like, Alberta cold. Hold on a second. Can you see? Oh, wait. No. Never mind. Hold on. Say hi, Kai. Kaiser Bear's hanging out with me. Okay, ask me some questions if you have them. I would love to answer some of your questions. Anything related to strength training is like what I prefer most, followed by nutrition, followed by conditioning, fat loss. But I love answering questions on strength. Okay, here's a good question from Chinese. Will lifters be any better for lifting than my Converse? Okay. Hi, Stacy, and hi, Steph. Good to see you on here. Okay, so here's the thing about Chuck Taylors, okay? They're really cool, and they are really comfy, but they are not great lifting shoes. Chuck Taylors were designed, I believe, in like the 60s or 70s for basketball. They are not a lifting shoe. They will do the job for a lifting shoe, but they are not a lifting shoe. Also, Kaiser, leave the cat alone. Also, the heel of a Converse or the sole of a Converse is about that thick. When in doubt, I like to get minimal shoes when it comes to that stuff. But a good pair of lifting shoes goes a long way. Chucks are okay, but they're not great. Hello, Italy, 12:30. Wow, I'm sorry I do these always kind of late. I'm a bit of a late person. I'm not much of a daytime person. So I usually like to do the Q&As after wine or during protein shake. So Kaiser, he's been quiet all day and now he starts to show off. Just like at the gym once he's not getting attention. Wait, now, Chanice, your birthday is on the 26th? Like February 26th? Because that's like my birthday as well, which is kind of interesting. So that's kind of coincidental. Ask me some questions, ladies. If you have any questions, I'm just going to scroll back real quick to make sure that I did not miss anything. But if you have any questions, by all means, ask, okay? And if not, I will just pick some random topics to talk about. Hello, Shaylee. It's good to see you. Talking a few minutes ago about Chuck Taylors, okay? Think of like lifting shoes, and if you have one or two or even sometimes three pairs, that's okay, because if you're lifting weights, it is part of your sport. There's a difference between like lifting light recreationally, but actually like lifting. You know, if you're going to play hockey, you need skates. If you're going to play tennis, you're going to need sneakers. So having correct footwear for lifting is very important, okay? Okay, we got some questions here now. I'm going to do my best to not talk too fast because I always have a tendency to talk too fucking fast. Okay, question from Natty Lamb, I'm sorry. For toning, how heavy, how many reps from Toronto? Okay, so let's clarify what is toning first and foremost. Toning is going to mean the absence of body fat and the showing of muscle. And then the leaner you get, the more muscle definition comes out. But toning is going to come down to, here comes my cat, fuck. Anyway, toning is going to come down to just getting leaner. So if you lose body fat, you will tone. However, the goal when toning should always be trying to keep and preserve muscle mass, because muscle is going to contribute to your metabolism. There's no amount of reps that's going to make you tone any better than anything. You always want to do a mixture of something kind of heavy, 1 to 5 reps, and then something between 5 to 8, and then something from 8 to 12. But doing a certain rep range, doing a certain rep range will not make you tone anymore. However, doing higher reps and going for the burn, it gives people a feeling that they are being more productive. So because you feel it more, you think it's working more. It's like if I had you do 60 crunches, your core is going to be on fire, but that doesn't mean that it's good for your core or that it's going to help you define your core in any way, if that makes any sense. Jordan, thank you, from Missouri. I love this group as well. I love how this group has become something so unique and so cool. Question from Leanne, top 5 exercises for strength. So like I'm a power lifter and a bodybuilder, so I'm going to always go for like barbell basic exercises. So like for me, it would be 1 would be squat, 2 would be deadlift, 3 would be overhead press, some type of overhead press, military press. On top of that, probably a row, and on top of that, probably an RDL. Hip thrusters are okay, like they get a lot of popularity now, but they don't make my top 5. My top 5 are still the basic barbell exercises. Chinese, that's pretty cool. We share the same birthday. We will have to celebrate. Stacy, question: is there any lifting that I can do with a torn rotator cuff? If you search in the files section here, I think I might have mentioned this. I have a book that I wrote many years ago on rotator cuff recovery and training, all right? But the rotator cuff is 4 muscles, so it's going to depend. Like, I can't really give any advice on what you can do, but what you should be able to do is find the exercises that you can do and try to build on them. And you can also put in isometric movements where there's no movement. Isometrics are great when you're dealing with an injury and you don't have full range of motion or much range of motion. But without more information and an assessment, it would be very hard for me to say, okay? Okay, this is a good question from Christy. I'm going to see if I can summarize it. How can I get past the mental block of how much weight is on the bar? I'm scared I'm going to go too heavy and hurt myself since I found out what my 1 rep max is. So this is like a bit of a loaded question, but if you're going to lift heavy, you have to at some point develop mental confidence, all right? It doesn't matter how physically strong you are. If you lack mental confidence and mental strength, then you're never going to be able to push past your plateaus, all right? So you have to start developing mental confidence, and that happens in your mind before you start training and also when you're training and when you approach the bar. I actually wrote a really good article on girlswhopowerlift.com about mental training for lifting. I will find that article later and share it. But you just got to start learning to develop confidence and also learn to approach the bar and approach your lift with confidence. Never, ever step up to a bar and doubt. All right, that's a way to get hurt, and that's a way to then start fucking up your mind down the road. So always clear out your mind, always approach the bar with confidence. A simple thing that you can do that I like to do is repeat 1 word 3 times or repeat 3 words 3 times. So what you're doing is you're developing almost like an internal, like a chant, if that sounds kind of funny, but it works really well. And what you do is basically you have this chant in your head over and over and over. So you're trying to program yourself, you know. So if I step up to a heavy deadlift, all I'm thinking to myself is over and over and over is mine, 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 as in that deadlift is mine, okay? I don't think anything else. That's it. Unless I'm doing a technical session. If I'm doing a technical session, then I will work on cues, lock my knees harder, get my back tighter. But when I'm going heavy, all I'm thinking about is lifting with confidence. I hope that makes sense, and I didn't mean to go off on a tangent only. Can you lose weight? Question from Shaylee. Can you lose weight by doing weight training only, no cardio? Fuck yeah. Cardio is kind of like overrated when it comes to fat loss. Again, people feel really good because they're sweating and because they're warm and because they're moving, and it definitely contributes. But the fat loss, the number one thing is going to be controlling your nutrition, controlling your calories, okay? Calories are not the end-all be-all, but nutrition is mostly for fat loss. And then maintaining muscle, because if you lose your muscle, then your metabolism is going to start to slow. So strength training and lifting weights should always be your focus point of when you're trying to lose fat. Okay, let's see what we have here. Debbie, if you have questions about not getting a tank top, my Q&A is not the time for them. You can email me at robkingfitness@gmail.com, but more than likely, you just need to be patient because everybody's spoiled from Amazon, and I live pretty fucking far away, and it takes some time, okay? But if you need help, you can always email me, okay? Your best advice to get your first pull-up, a question from Laura. Laura, I have a really good article on my website. If you want, I can post it later. It's called a 6-step pull-up progression, okay? It's basically like a step-by-step of once you get this step, then you go to the next step. Once you get the next step, you go to the next step. And it's a really good way to do a pull-up. And all it involves basically is having the ability to have a pull-up bar. You don't need bands. You don't need any of that stuff. But it's on womenwholiftweights.com. It's called 6-step pull-up progression, okay? I'm actually turning it into an ebook and training video series because the response has been so good on it, okay? Okay, question from Whitney from Delaware. Fat loss tips. How many calories should I consume if I want to lose weight and fat loss? Can I lose weight without cardio? Okay, first thing first is we are all very different, okay? I don't know your body weight. I don't know your metabolism. I don't know your level of exercise. I don't know what foods you like. I have no fucking idea about any of this stuff. So there's no way I can randomly spit out a calorie number, okay? Another thing is, a lot of times when I work with people, I don't get them to worry about calories. I get them to learn about their habit-based eating and making better decision-based habits, okay? So I've been cutting now for about the last 8 weeks or so. I haven't counted a calorie once, okay? Now, I know if I had to sit down and figure them out, I could, but I did it many, many years ago, and now I don't like to log everything and do that stuff. But the most important thing is eating good most of the time, exercising 5 to 6 days a week, and just repeating that, okay? And yeah, you can lose weight without cardio, but nutrition is always the biggest factor, okay? Hello from Alaska. Very interesting. Very cool. Hello, Alberta. Janelle. Okay, let's see if I can catch up here, ladies. Let's see. Okay, this is a kind of a good one. If you're stuck on 2 chin-ups, any advice from Danielle? Okay. How many times can you do 1? So can you do, like, in your workout, can you do, like, 3 sets of 1? And then 2 workouts later, do 4 sets of 1? And then 2 workouts later, do 5 sets of 1? And then after you do 5 sets of 1, you're trying to do 1 set of 2. And then a couple of workouts later, you're trying to do 2 sets of 2. And then you're trying to do 3 sets of 2. But what you are not doing is going to failure, okay? So ladies, there's 67 people watching this right now. One of the biggest myths and biggest issues that women have in training is the belief that you need to go to failure or that you need to go all out all of the time. You don't. Your training should be layered so that every single workout you're trying to build on your previous workout, okay? So if you can do 2 pull-ups, the goal is to try to get 5 sets of 1, okay? You got to take your time building, but if you push too hard and you go off the edge, then it cuts into your recovery too much, and then you get weaker instead of getting stronger, all right? I hope that makes sense. Let's see what else. Hello, Nisangel. It's good to see you on here. Darren, thank you. I appreciate the talks. I would do more of them, but I'm not going to lie. I'm like, sometimes I get a little shy, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do this now, but Every once in a while, I just pop on and say hi. Okay, another question from Rebecca. What are the sets, reps, body weight percentage you should do if you want to lose weight? Listen, again, ladies, the most important factor when you're losing weight is nutrition, okay? Getting an idea of your calories and your macronutrients, okay? But nutrition is number one. Strength training and keeping your muscle and trying to stay strong is number two. And then everything else is after that, okay? But don't neglect sleep and don't neglect stress. Those two things play a big role when it comes to fat loss as well. But everybody's looking for like the magic bullet, like the magic solution when it comes to fat loss. There's no magic solution. You just have to do the right fucking things most of the time. And that's it, okay? Natty, question, how many times a week do you work out and what is your routine? Well, that's going to depend on the amount of training and the type of training is always going to be reverse engineered by my goal, okay? So whether that's my goal or the clients that I'm working with, all right? So if your goal is strength training and to get as strong as possible, I don't want to cut into recovery. So if I'm doing 3, maybe 4, maximum 5 workouts a week, but when I'm training heavy, only 3 of those will be hard and heavy. The other 2 will be back off workouts, okay? Now, if I'm training a bit more for fat loss, I'm trying to increase my frequency of workouts. I'm not always going as heavy, but I'm training more and training more frequently, all right? And then I might add in some hill sprints. I might add in some long walks, a few other things. But the goal is to try to find, especially for strength, as little as you can do, not as much as you can do. And most women have a tendency to want to do too much, okay? Hold on a second. What are you doing? When he doesn't get attention, he starts acting silly. I agree, physical health and mental health must be prioritized. So we're going through our second lockdown here. We had one last year, and I'm not going to rant on COVID and stuff like that. It's not my area of expertise. But my area of expertise is health and wellness and fitness, and it is not prioritized enough at all anywhere when it comes to this shit. Being physically strong, being mentally strong, being physically and mentally healthy are so important. And I wish that more governments and more media and more everything would get on the ball with how important it is, you know? Okay, Janelle, let's see. How many exercises per body part? Okay, so I don't do a lot of like body part training, all right? I train my whole body every time I work out. So I just trained then and I did a full body workout. The workouts were based around compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, overhead press, that type of thing. And then I accessorize as needed for the muscle groups that need extra work. But I don't do the typical bodybuilding type workout very often, nor do I recommend it as often, okay? But you can hit anywhere from like 1 to 3 exercises per muscle group. But my goal when I'm training my athletes and myself is to always try to get my body strong head to toe, not to try to isolate muscle groups, okay? No, you're not going out now. You'll go out in a minute. No, of course he wants to go out now. Hi, Lori. Let's see here now. Okay, question from Yadira. What is the best way to bulk without gaining body fat? Why is it everybody wants to do both things at once all the time? Okay, if you're going to bulk and put on a bit of size, you're going to have a little bit of body fat that goes with it. That's the way it goes. If you're going to try to get leaner, you're going to lose a little bit of muscle. That's the way it goes. Everybody's trying to find like the secret sauce or, you know, what to do. There's no way around these things. If you're going to bulk up, unless you have a fast metabolism, you're probably going to put on a bit of weight. But you could always trim it off afterwards while you keep the muscle that you built, okay? Hello from England. Very cool. I was just training downstairs in my little home gym that I have, and I was looking at all the jackets, and one of the jackets I have is from England, which is really cool. Let's see here now, if I can catch up. West coast of Scotland. So right next to my England jacket is my Scotland jacket, and in the future I would love to visit Scotland and do some workshops there because it looks like an amazing place. Hello, Nevada. What a beautiful spot Nevada is. I bet you it is warm there now. I got about 5 minutes left here, ladies, so I'm going to see if I miss anything. Hi, Avril from Ireland, another place that I would love to visit. And down on my in my studio, in my gym downstairs, I have a jacket from Ireland. A couple of years ago, we had the Commonwealth Powerlifting Championships were held here in Newfoundland, and Team Ireland brought over a big team, and man, you guys, the Team Ireland had the craziest, like, energy and support and community. It was incredible to see. So I had a couple of orders this week go out to Ireland, and every time I get to ship out an order anywhere in the world, I'm very grateful for it. But Ireland is really cool. And I'm glad you like the podcast. I'm going to try to get another one done this weekend. Okay, question from Sarah. What's your feeling on 5x5 Strong Lift app? Am I familiar? Yeah, I know that program well. It's fantastic. It's a great program. But then after you do that program, you need to do something a little bit different instead of trying to redo that program. But the 5x5 program from Strong Lifts is a great app and a great program. And anything with 5x5 is always good, right? Massachusetts, I've been there a couple of times and I loved it. Beautiful place. Love it there. I do have some hoodies left in Los Angeles. I think I counted today like 12, I think, and I've got most sizes, but if you go to the website, you should be able to see them. And if not, just tag me and I will help you, okay? Yeah, I'm not shy, Karina. It's not shy. It's just the sitting down and saying, I'm going to do this for the next 30 to 45 minutes, when it's just easier for me to hide behind a computer and write or type than it is to actually put my face out there. But I decided now with lockdowns going on and everything that I can't coach as much as I would like at the gym, so I want to try to help as much as I can virtually. So expect more of these, and I'm not very good at being organized, but I'm going to try to pick like 2 or 3 times a week where I have a set time for like 45 minutes to an hour so that people will know when these are going on, okay? Okay, so question from, I believe it's Nair, is 1.2 grams of protein per body weight, 1.2 grams of protein per kg of body weight good for lean muscle mass? Yeah, everybody's different in terms of like, I guess the fancy word would be like protein assimilation or how much protein you can use. Everybody's different. Some people are going to be able to tolerate more based on your genetics, based on how much muscle you have, based on training level, there's a lot of factors. Off a kg is what? So that's 0.6 pound per pound. So let's talk pounds. So 0.6 is a little low for what I would recommend for women. I usually go 0.75 to 1 gram per lean body pound, okay? So if you're a female at, let's say, 175 pounds, but your lean body mass is, say, I don't know, 130, the goal should be to probably get between 100 to 130 grams of protein a day, if that math makes sense. Let's see here. So Wendy, yeah, no, I don't schedule them, but I'm going to because I'm a little bit disorganized and but I will be doing a schedule to do them more, okay? Yeah, he's a beautiful boy. I'm so happy to have him. He was just down in the gym with me, and he's always by my side, and he's always there. I love him so much. Okay, question from Katie. Without spending money, as a beginner, where can I begin? Well, we live in a world of Google and YouTube, so you literally have unlimited access to everything at your fingertips that you could ever ask for. If I go back 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was trying to find good information, I had to order books. I had to go on to like microfilm. I worked at a bookstore and ordered books. So you have access to everything. Now all you need to do is take the time and find it. Problem is we live in a world of information overload and a lot of shit, all right? And also too, sometimes when you don't spend money on something, you don't value it. It's that simple, right? Anything you can get for free, you probably will never even open or look at it. So there's the monetary system and the value system of money is very important because that's what we value. So just because you're going to get something, if you go to Google and you type in free workout program, you'll get 1,285,000 replies from Google. Are you going to do it? Sometimes the best money you can spend is a coach for accountability and also to have a teacher and a mentor. A lot of things that get lost in this industry is a coach is a mentor and somebody who teaches you as well. It's not just a workout program. It goes much deeper than that, okay? Let's see here. Austin, Texas. Okay, this is an interesting kind of question. Question from Crystal Ann. I don't do a lot of fat loss stuff, but let's do it. Jiggly body fat. So what happens, it's been a few years since I've read this and caught up on it because I'm not really that interested in it as much anymore as I am about strength and performance. But when body fat cells get full, okay, when a fat cell gets full, it splits and becomes another fat cell. When that fat cell then gets full, it splits and creates another fat cell, which is why it's kind of like so easy for somebody who's been fat to get fat again, all right? Jiggly body fat sometimes means your fat cells emptying. So oftentimes if you're fat, you can be fat, but things are still kind of like tight. They're not soft and jiggly. But sometimes when you start losing fat, you'll go through a phase where you will actually like look a little more jiggly and stuff than before. So you just have to be patient with it, and it'll go, okay? Life with a German Shepherd is good. I will always have one by my side, okay? Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Ladies, I got about 1 minute left here. Let's see here now. Yeah, okay. Do you hear a kitty purring? I'm not going to take my fucking phone and put it in my crotch in a women's group, but anyway, hold on. Hi, kitty. So yes, there's my little cat, and she's always hanging out with me and sitting on my lap and stuff. Okay. Question from Sean. I'm dealing with hip pain. Any way to fix or strengthen this to improve my squat depth without pain? Sean, without knowing more information about you, your mobility, your stability, your genetics, your ancestry, I can't really give much advice. However, for the last 4 years, I've learned everything I could about hip pain and hip injuries. 2.5 years ago, I had a hip replacement. So once my hips started going bad, I took it as an opportunity to learn as much as I could. I always see injuries as opportunities to learn. So I have a fair bit of knowledge when it comes to hip stuff, but the first thing I would say is work with somebody who's really good at that, or find a good coach or a good trainer that can help you. There's ways you can fix it, but without more information, I can't give you more information. But sometimes pushing your squat depth is not a good thing if it makes it worse. If deep squats hurt your hip, then you want to avoid them, okay? I'm a power lifter, so when my hips started going bad, I had to squat deep and I had no choice. And it was fucking murder. It was agony pain. So if you don't have to do it, don't do it, okay? Let's see here now. Caroline from Halifax, Nova Scotia. You were pretty close to me. Thank you. I don't like to bullshit. I don't like to, I call it like it is. I try to tell everything as basic as possible and as simple as possible, because that's what we need, Question from Sarah. How long do I suggest 5x5? You can run any program for about 4 to 8 weeks, and then after that, it's probably time to change it up a little bit, okay? Especially in the rep range of 5, all right? Hi, Sky. Let's see. My accent, so I try to not have an accent, okay? I have a little bit of one, and when I have wine, probably it comes out a little bit more, but thank you. Question from Natty about carbs. Here's the thing about carbs. I get a lot of my information from Charles Poliquin. He is like one of my mentors and coaches. Carbs are very much individual based on the person's ancestry of where they come from, okay, body fat levels, and your ability to tolerate and or handle carbohydrates. So for example, if I'm working with a female and she's 220 pounds and has a fair bit of body fat, her carbohydrates, if I was working with her, would be pretty low. But the goal is to build muscle and strength while the carbohydrates are kind of low. And then over time, as you build more muscle and build more strength and get more athletic, and I have certain indicators that I look for, and I learned all this from Charles. Once you start getting leaner and more athletic and stronger, your body's ability to handle more carbohydrates go up, okay? I've seen girls that I've coached that after like 6 months to a year, they were strong, they were athletic, they're doing pull-ups, they're jumping, they're fit. Then they can have a shitload of carbs. And the more carbs you have, the leaner you get, okay? But I like Charles Poliquin's concept of earn your carbs. And again, everybody's different. Right now, I'm going through a semi-cutting phase, so my carbs are pretty low. If I was trying to build muscle, I would tinker with them a little bit. But that's my approach on things. Hello, Roxanne. Hello, fellow Newfie. I love the way you say bar. Any suggestions on the loss of weight? No, I'm going to pass on this one. Loss of weight in breasts, I can kind of talk about, but I kind of can't. Here's the thing, fuck it. If you lose your breasts, more than it's body fat. okay? Like pretty much. And I've seen some freaks. I've seen some girls who have like literally like 6-pack abs and they're shredded and they still maintain their boobs. And like, they're not normal. They're freaks. For the most part, the leaner you get, you will probably lose your boobs. That's just the way it kind of goes, all right? That's why you see all these like funny emoticons about like women getting in shape and losing their boobs. But, you know, let's see here now. Last couple of questions before I get going. Yeah, my kitty is pretty cute. Katie, can you email me with questions? You can work with me if you'd like as a coach and as a client. I don't offer it very often, but if you want to talk, you can. Otherwise, I would end up getting like 1,000 questions from people. Joints clicking, that could be a whole bunch of things. I'll note it for a video, okay? Thank you, Elizabeth Harlan. I appreciate it. Thank you. Dirty Jersey. I've been to Jersey 8 times, I think. It's a pretty fucking wild spot, man. Let me tell you. Yeah, Poliquin, the meat and nuts guy, Sean. Poliquin is probably one of the smartest people I've ever had the opportunity to learn and meet with. He is absolutely incredible. Working out while fasting, pros and cons. Yes, I think fasting has many benefits. However, I think if you're going to work out while fasting, you should not work out too intensely, okay? I think it's okay to lift weights moderately, and I think it's okay to do moderate type conditioning. But when you're in a fasted state, don't push your body too hard, okay? A fast is already kind of demanding on the body, so don't kill yourself training when you do that, okay? On that note, ladies, I'm going to call it a day. I will do these more often, and I will schedule them so that it'll give people more time to know I'm going to do this and then have some questions. But until then, thank you. Thank you for being a member of our group, and thank you for supporting Women Who Lift Weights. Me, my kitty cat, and my boy Kaiser are very grateful. Thank you.